Welcome back to episode 2 of I Suck at Tarkov, the series highlighting the mistakes I make throughout my adventures playing one of the most frustrating and challenging games ever. If you haven't checked out episode 1, give it a watch, the link's in the description. And without further ado, let's get it. I spawned prone in the grass, not because of the game spawning me here, but because I had forgot to start recording. But it was still the beginning of the raid, y'all will have plenty of footage of me eating shit, so don't worry. Fortunately, or unfortunately, my friends joined up on Discord to talk smack and generally distract me.
I am...
Stop! Off to a great start. So, seeing as this was a pistol run, the first kill was going to be very important. You've got to line up the perfect headshot and one-tap your target. Nine shots with the pistol. A firefight was raging nearby, but I didn't have time to think about that. I needed to grab the weapon that it took me 9 fucking shots to get. After a quick loot of the body and some self-flagellation, get wrecked, me. I was confident to continue the raid, knowing I wasn't completely outgunned, just vastly outskilled, which I can deal with. My ego's not fragile, yours is. So off to the military checkpoint I went, with fingers crossed for a few items I was desperately looking for. A gas analyzer or some gunpowder maybe. Spoiler, nothing except a really bad Aaron Neville impression. I don't know much. Hey, knock it off. Without anything except useless bullets filling my pockets, I planned out a route to my exfil point. What are my outs? Crossroads. Got my bearings straight, all points east, west, and was offered some wonderful musical underscoring for the moment. God damn it, this is gonna be... this is just gonna be all over the footage if I use this one.
Yo, man, fucker me up.
He seems very pleased with himself. Energized by the Harlem Shake, which no, I can't do it, I headed to gas station while discussing the incessant Wish.com ads. My favorite is like Wish.com's like, do you need 6 cock rings for $1.20?
I do.
What was the thing that Meyer got?
Oh, it was probably like a meth pipe.
It was the crack pipe. Yeah, he's like, why would this? But it was sold as like a bubbler or something. Like.
Yeah, well, that's what you gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, Peter, you idiot. You can't just be selling crack pipes on the internet. What are you fucking,
yeah, come on, Peter.
What are you, crazy?
That's why your crack pipe business failed.
After getting business advice, my buddies continued to weigh the pros and cons of drug usage. Again, quite the distraction. I like how I'm sure I could do crack as if the only negative side is my teeth get a little dirty.
I mean, it is, right?
A quick loot of the secret stash, and I was ready to move through gas station when I heard... The scavs had spotted me, and now I was the target of their post-apocalyptic ire. Apparently, scavs can throw grenades over the wall now. Okay, so here's where I started to get frustrated. It seemed a little unfair that they could apparently see through bushes, but this is Tarkov, so shut the fuck up.
Oh, by arches.
I counted 2 shooters, maybe 3, but literally no sight of any of them. You ever have that moment when you feel hopeless and pinned and just sort of resign yourself to not getting out of a trash situation like that? Yeah, I have that moment quite a lot, but this one, yeah, I definitely resigned myself once the 3rd, maybe 4th, I don't know, when the final shooter came in. The benefit to making these videos is that as I go through the footage, I often have a chance to take a second and see what really went wrong and how to fix it. So let's say I'm this blue dot right about here. The first shooter was attacking directly from the north, through a bush. I figure the second shooter had to come from Scav checkpoint and the third from the hole in the wall behind me, leading to me getting lit the fuck up. So in the first episode, I learned why not having a plan is a huge problem. This video, I'm learning another good rule. Be aware of your surroundings, and I don't just mean where players are or where loot is, but also where's the closest hard cover, where are your exits when the enemy rushes you, and how full is your stamina bar in case you have to run for it. Pushing on to a scav run, I hope to get some better action. some where I could actually see who I was supposed to be shooting at. Okay, I loaded into storage units and began stomping around, checking car trunks, jackets, loot crates, and generally making a bunch of noise because f*** it. Nothing too fancy, but I was lucky enough to find a Sega carbine, so though it may not have a lot of ammo, it's still an option to switch to. When you play as a scav, you load in at a random point in the raid, sometimes 20 minutes to the end, sometimes 35. Regardless, knowing that I spawned in later in the match, I figured let's go to Paradigm in the hopes of finding some dead bodies. I headed to a small hill next to the dumpster, aka my true home, and peeked over the wall into Paradigm's shipping yard. A scav was crossing, and I took the opportunity to take a shot.
It's a big old one of those.
It didn't go well. With this weapon, or even with the Sega I picked up, the move would have been to slowly creep towards the gate to the right of the dumpsters and ambush him with a barrage of bullets. I didn't do any of that. A few quick peeks later, I had executed the most pathetic flank on this scav, but somehow it paid off.
What do you mean?
I rushed across the yard to loot the body, then made a dash around the back of the building, but quickly turned around when I heard someone by the gate. After quickly locking onto him, I began to burst spray him, and he, to my benefit, froze like a deer in the headlights if the car were a player with the accuracy of a drunk toddler. I had managed to get some shots on him as he fled west, so I hustled behind Paradigm to try to cut him off. I cut through the warehouse using the shipping containers as cover. But first, I found some crackers in a weapons crate, which just seems like my luck. Anyways, heading into the shipping yard, I weaved my way through the containers and managed to actually get a good shot off at him. After a burst, I didn't actually know if he was dead, so I threw another few shots where I thought he may be hiding. If he wasn't dead, he was definitely unhappy. So f*** it, I pushed him because I have zero patience after tracking him down. But much to my surprise, I managed to gun him down just as he made it out of the gate. A quick looting and I was off to cross the river. Once I made it across the river, I checked the weapons crate thinking it would have already been hit, but much to my surprise, someone had left an AK in there and I took the chance to fill my backpack even more. I was loaded, and my mind went from finding more loot to getting the fuck out in one piece. So I quickly moved to the construction area, knowing a bunch of scavs could spawn there. Bracing for a potential firefight, I peeked around the corner, saw someone, and shot. And then shot again, and again, and again, and then reloaded, and then continued to shoot. And after all that trading of gunfire, I had the whole scav squad down. It felt good, especially since most of my runs end up with me standing still and getting hit. Still, I did notice something wrong here. I had peeked the same spot for a solid 2 minutes, and with any actual player, that would have been death. Live and learn. After a moment to breathe and some time to loot, I was ready to continue. I hauled ass through the construction zone to arguably the worst choke point on the map. I cautiously looked to the right and headed to the left to make my way towards buses when I saw a dead scav in the road with an ADAR, a powerful low-level carbine, and well, I got greedy. These videos are all about making mistakes, and so I'm going to share yet another one I just made. Snipers can spawn in a few places on the map, and it's imperative to look for these little shits. I did not, and as I went down to get the ADAR, the sniper took an opportunity to line up a decent shot. I scrambled up and heard a shotgun blast, but didn't hear where it came from. I waited against the bus station wall to hear someone coming, but I couldn't. However, I now knew Sniper Scav was up, and with the carbine having a much more effective range, I knew I could tap him pretty easily. Okay, a few too many peeks and far too many bullets used, but at least the sniper was down. It was time to find the shotgun asshole. Okay, here's where things get a little nuts, so buckle up. I quickly figured out that he was standing in cover with the perfect shot on me, and what did I do? Oh, you know, stood still in the open and tried to shoot him first. Not the smartest move, so I took cover behind a bus and checked the entrance only to find yet another scav trying to get in on the action. As he blew out the windows to the bus and pushed me, I made the choice to head clockwise around the bus, hoping he would attempt to flank me around the backside. I turned the corner and quickly fired what was left of my clip at him, and down he went. With 3 dead bodies around me and no imminent threat, I took the chance to rifle through everyone's stuff and pick out exactly what I wanted. I was loaded, but buckle up again. On a weird gut feeling, which I'm still not sure if it was a real Spidey sense or Red Bull on an empty stomach, I double-checked to see if I was alone, and alas, I was not. This sneaky boy was trying to ruin my Christmas morning. So I quickly retreated thinking he would push, but he retreated also, so I reloaded right as he was coming around the corner, so I sprinted back around the bus, and luckily he was holding the corner, and boom, he was down. And I needed a change of underwear, but guess what? There's no pausing in Tarkov. So again, I took a chance to loot everything up and get ready for the trek over to Admin Gate, the closest exfil point. I took off towards gas station and desperately hoped I wouldn't run out of time.
If that door is open, hallelujah. If not, we are... Oh, man.
Oh man, indeed. I had spent a lot of time looting and put myself in quite the time crunch to the point that every second counted. Plus, the door was locked, so... fuck.
1 minute, 31 second. Admin gate.
With a very short amount of time and a scav coming over the small hill outside of gas station, I decided it was better to square up and take the shot. This knocked him out, removing any chance of getting shot by him as I dashed to the extraction point.
Come on. Come on.
Turns out saying that over and over actually doesn't speed you up. Shit, a second scav showed up, and again, I weighed the options and decided to take the moment and one-tap him. Confident that I'd hit him, I headed to Admin Gate with barely any time left. Turns out he wasn't dead, he was just pissed. But he had a shotgun, I think, which means unless he had slug ammo, his effective range was limited, so I didn't need to engage with him. With stamina running low, I made my way through the hole in the wall, and I was in the final stretch. I began to taper my sprint key in the hopes of keeping a generally steady pace as opposed to huffing and puffing. Now, anyone with a PC knows what happens when you hit shift too many times. Coming from a Mac to a gaming PC, I had yet to turn off the lovely feature known as sticky keys. Here's what happened.
Come on. No!
I tabbed back in as quick as possible and got myself in the extraction point, with the raid timer lower than the extraction timer.
I think I got out, right?
I was clearly lying to myself. So I lost it all, not because of the game trolling me. In fact, I got out with 9 kills, which was generous, seeing as I should have died about 4 times. No, I was trolled by the PC itself, which is truly f***ing hilarious. At the end of the day though, no matter who trolls you, whether it's a player, or a scav, or even your own PC, you've exited that raid hopefully having learned something that'll help you the next time. And as always, no matter how bad or tragic or disappointing a nail-biting photo finish like that is, you've left Tarkov with a story.